Hi, my name is James Akbar Bryson, author of the Stop Tripping, Start Living book. Today we're going to have a series on stop tripping. Now, stop tripping is the same as self-handicapping behavior. I want to ask you a question. Who trips over their own feet? We all trip over our own feet. I trip over my feet, you trip over your feet. Trips over his feet. She trips over her feet. We all trip over our own feet. It's a natural process. But the question I want to ask you is, are you satisfied where you are in your life? Are you personally, educationally, in terms of your career, are you where you want to be? If not, it may be because you're tripping over your own feet. Now, most of us, as I said once before, trip over our own feet. I know I have many times. That's why I'm the author of this book. But tripping over your own feet or self-handicapping behavior is unconscious. I mean, you find yourself, people say, man, why you keep doing the same stuff over and over? Or you see people who seem to keep making the same mistakes over and over. If you do, they're tripping over their own feet. So self-handicapping behavior is an unconscious act. Now, what is self-handicapping behavior? Self-handicapping behavior is when individuals feel incompetent about a task, or they feel that they lack a skill and ability. So in order to protect their self-esteem, guess what they do? They make excuses. You know people that are just geniuses at making the craziest excuses? Excuse after excuse after excuse. Those individuals that you see making that, they are tripping over their own feet. Now let me give you an example of what tripping over your own feet can be. This is for the students. Now, you know you have a test tomorrow. You know you have a homework paper that you're supposed to turn in. But you stay out late, too tired to get up to turn in your paper. Oh, I love this one. Hey, Mr. Bryson, I got my homework done. Okay, where is it? Is it home? Well, that's not why they call it homework. You do your homework at home, then you turn in your paper. Or what about those that you stayed up too late because John or Phyllis or Alice came over and they made you do something else other than study? And so therefore you didn't study. And now you end up with a D on your test. Or you don't even go to class because you're afraid that you're going to flunk the test. Those are classical examples of self-handicapping behavior. Now, I used to work in workforce development years ago. And in that program, we would pay for an individual's tuition to go to school. We would pay for their supplies and books. We would pay for their babysitting arrangements. And guess what? People would not show up. And so I started trying to figure out what is going on here. Those were classical examples of self-handicapping behavior, afraid to succeed. So, people who participate in self-handicapping behavior sabotage their opportunities to succeed and enhance their opportunities to fail. Now listen to that. Don't that sound crazy? Why would someone set themselves up to fail? The reason is because they either fear they're going to fail or they fear that they're going to succeed. So, self-handicapping behavior is based on one sense of competency. That's the major issue that stimulates self-handicapping behavior. Now, how do you know if you're self-handicapping? Well, one of the first things you have to do, you have to recognize it and identify it. Now, many times it will probably take someone else to help you recognize your self-handicapping behavior. But on the other hand, you may have a real good clue on why and what is stopping you from getting where you want to be. But the issue is self-handicapping behavior. It's just like an addiction. It's a bad habit of failing. But in order to overcome it, one of the main things you have to do is recognize it and identify it. Let's talk about some of the causes of self-handicapping behavior. What do you think may cause self-handicapping behavior? Well, one cause is what we talked about. Fear. Fear will paralyze you. Fear will make it so that you'll do just like this and not move. And then people say, oh man, he's lazy. I'm not lazy, I'm scared. Even though I'm not comfortable where I am, I'm safe. This is a safe position for me. I'm not moving forward and I'm not moving backwards. I am stuck exactly where I am because of fear. Now, many times you hear fear of failure, but do you realize that some people are afraid to succeed? Are you afraid to succeed? How would you know if you were afraid to succeed? What do you think makes people afraid to succeed? Can I share with you one of the common things that I hear? One of the most common things I hear is that people claim